How is everyone doing today? It is Josh coming at you with another reaction here today. We have got a new video by Kurzgesagt. This is called Why Does Fentanyl Feel So Good? So they're going to be all about fentanyl. I've never taken any drugs before. What a weird way to open this up. But I don't have any comparison point is my point on the matter. So I guess it feels good. I mean, I would assume most of the time people are taking drugs because they enjoy them. Maybe. Sometimes people get forced into them if they don't. And I know they're supposed to be addicting, whatever. But who knows? Maybe we'll figure out why fentanyl feels so good. They're going to go all into the chemistry behind it. Are we going to have any birds getting high, or is it just going to be people? I know they've been leaning a lot more into having people in their videos lately over the birds, which I'm kind of sad about. I want to see more birds. The birds are really fun, really cute. But either way, we will get into this video here in just a second, but before we do, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you do like this content, and consider going to my Patreon if you want to see more like it in the future. And with all that being said, let's get into it.
Fentanyl must be amazing. Loads of people give up on everything that makes life good for it. Their loved ones, any other possessions or pursuits, homes, their dignity, and even their lives.
That's how some drugs are, man.
Fentanyl is garbage heroin, inferior in every single way but one. It's the perfect drug for dealers. And while we hear a lot about how deadly fentanyl is, many people it kills are not even fentanyl addicts. It's truly the dumbest drug to ruin your life for. Let's learn what fentanyl does to you, what it feels like, and why it's so much lamer than heroin. Pain and pleasure. Maybe the two most important forces that guide our survival are pain and pleasure. Pain may be the most visceral physical experience.
Visualize it.
A claw ripping your flesh, a bone cracking, rejection eating your soul.
Oh, that's all pleasure,
Pain
man.
can be scary and unbearable. It's the strongest signal our bodies have to make us avoid harm.
It's true. I think it's the
Pleasure is
fastest
what
thing
makes
that'll
life
get to your
good because it
brain, is what I've
feels,
heard.
well, amazing. Eating
Just something hot,
things
just
that are sweet
almost
or
immediately.
high fat, having sex, or opening another
Your hand
booster
will
pack
move
with
before
your
you even
friends.
register you
Anything that
did
makes
it.
you feel pleasure makes you want to do it again. These two opposing forces guide you through life. Pain shouts, "Stop, this is bad." Pleasure cheers, "More, do that again." But while they are opposites, they're also linked. Sometimes our body needs to end pain
yin-yang.
and create pleasure at the same time. After giving birth, pain gets toned down and the mother is showered in happy hormones so she can bond with the newborn child. During an intense hunt, the hunter forgets the physical exhaustion and minor injuries.
Minor? That looks
Those are
bad.
technically not great experiences, but need to be repeated for our survival. And nature invented a powerful mechanism to achieve this: the mighty opioid receptor. It's like a keyhole on the neurons that control pain and pleasure. If activated, it reduces pain and how much you care about pain, and it creates pleasure and good feelings. The details are complex and not relevant for this story. What you need to know is that any molecule that can fit into an opioid receptor like a key is called an opioid. Opioids are extremely powerful, so when your body uses natural opioids,
If it fits into an opioid receptor, it's just called an opioid. That's like using the definition to define it.
So the effects are mild and localized. Your sprained ankle feels better, a painful memory subsides, you get a boost of happiness meeting an old friend. And now we're getting to drugs. Humans found opioids in nature like morphine and were quite taken by them. They got refined into a whole family of drugs used in hospitals and to relieve patients that are in immense pain. Codeine, OxyContin, Vicodin, and of course, heroin, and the worst of all, fentanyl. Before we can explain why fentanyl is the most garbage drug, we need to do something fun. Let's inject some heroin together.
Woo! Fun! Let's go!
The supernova of pleasure. Heroin rushes through your entire body and flips every opioid receptor it finds. A rapid cascade of things happens everywhere all at once. A symphony of intense sensations. Every cell regulating pleasure is now high. Without their control, floodgates of happy hormones open and fill you up top to bottom with pure bliss. A cup of coffee, a nectar of joy. This song you like, a celestial symphony.
Oh man.
A cuddle, pure love from the center of the universe. Wherever you felt pain before, from wounds or aching joints or menstrual cramps or loneliness or self-loathing, it's gone now. You are simply unable to feel pain or care about it anymore. Like dimming the lights in a cozy room, your brain's alert system is put to sleep and you feel at
Interesting.
ease, warm, and serene. Any stress melts away and dissolves
See, that part
into a
sounds good.
dreamlike haze. You're no
I'm
longer
sure it doesn't
worried
last.
or tense about anything.
And I'm sure it's not
This peace
actually good
even
for you.
spreads to your essential organs, slowing your breath, soothing and slowing your intestines.
Oh.
Your chest rises and
sounds
falls
less
like the
good.
gentle waves of a quiet shore. You're sailing a
That
sea of
could be
calm
very
and
dangerous
happiness
if you
that feels
overdose.
perfect and eternal. The full load of a strong opioid like heroin for the very first time is one of the most amazing feelings humans can experience. For a few hours, you're in heaven. And this is exactly the problem. Your brain is not equipped to handle anything like it. You feel too good. But nothing lasts forever, and now you're in trouble. You just experienced the best feeling you ever felt. Your brain's reward center is completely fried and can't comprehend what happened. If what you did felt this good, it has to be amazing for your survival, and you should do it again. Except you can never ever feel this good again. This will be your peak life moment forever. You may forever chase this feeling you had this very first time. And now you're back in the regular world. With your insecurities, where your knee hurts, regular tasting coffee, and having to work hard for happy hormones. Comparison is the thief of joy, and now you have your life to compare to a supernova of bliss. The indescribable feeling comes with the damage to your sense of life and self that may be irreparable.
That's gotta
And
suck.
this is not even the worst. Opioids are incredibly addictive.
Oh,
and
of
the
course.
addiction among the worst you can have. The supernova of pain. Once you've taken opioids a few
So
times,
it sounds like
your
you need to take the
brain has had
fentanyl
enough.
right as you're about to
The
die. Like, do it as you're
self-controlling
jumping
pain
off a
and
cliff
pleasure
or
are
something.
constantly
Like that.
high and drowsy.
That way, it's the most
So it
fun shit
boosts
you've ever
them
done.
and makes
And then
them
you're dead. And you don't have to
hyperactive.
worry about it the low
This
afterwards,
happens very
right?
fast, sometimes after
That's what
a
we're
few
taking
days
from
of
as the
use.
message from this, right?
You've developed an opioid
No, don't do that,
tolerance,
please.
toning down all the nice effects you're doing the drugs to achieve. To feel like before, you'll need way higher doses. Now, you're at a crossroads. Quit and have your system go back to normal fairly quickly, or keep going and take more. You take the wrong turn. Over the next few weeks, your brain keeps pushing back and you keep taking more. The effects are not quite what they were, but still mildly nice. Until one day, you can't get opioids and realize your body is now your enemy. Your systems are so hyperactive that they make you feel the opposite of what the drug was doing. Welcome to withdrawal. It all starts with a creeping unease. Instead of being euphoric and happy, nothing feels good anymore. Your coffee is tasteless, your favorite song lame, your loved ones distant. A storm of negative emotions shatters your sea of calm. Serenity is replaced by anxiety and angst, like something terrible is imminent. Your worries, insecurities, and all the fears you suppressed aren't just back, but amplified into an existential crisis. You're so restless you can't sit still. Your heart is beating too fast. You shiver, sweat, hyperventilate. Your pain circuits are now oversensitive, so your bones and muscles ache and hurt for no reason. Old wounds, physical
Awful.
and mental, torture you. You have belly cramps and diarrhea and have to vomit. You're too agitated to rest. A war inside your body that you can't escape. And of course, there's the craving, screaming for you to make it stop. Your mind and body beg for a hit. You can be in this state for up to 2 weeks, or make
Damn.
it stop right away. Okay, so why not just take heroin forever and feel amazing always? The fun thing is that it doesn't work this way. You get tolerant to the nice effects like euphoria faster than to the bad ones like dangerously slow breathing. So it turns from touching the love center of the universe to mostly drowsy numbness and relief from withdrawal. Now you don't take opiates to get to heaven, but to avoid hell.
Damn.
You're in a prison of your mind and body, unable to connect with all the things that could actually make you feel good. Opioid addiction is brutal and extremely hard to escape. It should be pretty clear that you need to be extremely careful with any opioids, and if you have the chance to do it for fun, just don't. There's a very real risk that your life might just be over, and that you'll go through hell. Now that we've seen the heaven and hell of heroin, we can get to fentanyl, the garbage drug.
Oh, okay.
Fentanyl is really garbage heroin. Everything we just described is true in different intensities for most opioids. They can be great, all of them can be hell. Heroin is just sort of the strongest, except it isn't. Fentanyl is around 50 times more potent than heroin, but that doesn't mean 50 times more amazing. Quite the opposite. Fentanyl is extremely good at crossing the blood-brain barrier, the firewall that protects your brain from harmful substances. It enters your brain so easily that you get from 0 to extremely high almost instantly.
Damn, that's
But
crazy.
just as fast as it enters, it leaves again.
Oh,
A
yeah.
heroin high can
seems
last
right.
6 hours. One from fentanyl can fade in minutes.
What the fuck?
Fentanyl doesn't feel as good as heroin. Instead of a supernova of bliss, you mostly get the black hole of nodding away. But it comes with all the withdrawal symptoms.
That's, why then?
As a bonus,
What?
because fentanyl acts so
Why would you even
quickly
pretend to
on
do
your
it?
brain, it fries your reward center even more, making it even more addictive than heroin. And since you only need so little of it, it's super easy to overdose and die by accident. It's the deadliest illegal drug in US history by far.
Holy crap.
Between 2013 and 2023, it killed about 400,000 Americans.
Damn.
Fentanyl really is garbage heroin. Too dangerous, too intense, too addictive, too little fun. But then why are so many people taking it? Well, actually, nobody wants to. Fentanyl is not for users, it's for dealers.
Oh,
The house
interesting.
always wins. Fentanyl is a drug dealer's dream. One truckload could supply the entire US for 1 year. It's cheap to make and easy to smuggle. Heroin needs plants and fields and way more space. So garbage fentanyl just took over the heroin supply. It might have seemed great for heroin addicts at first, and then its trap snapped close. While some people may seek out fentanyl specifically, several studies have found that most opioid users try to avoid it. Even worse, a lot of people who die from fentanyl don't take it willingly. Dealers want people to come back for their product, and by adding a tiny trace of fentanyl to any drug, they can make it more addictive. Even if people don't realize they
Interesting.
took an opioid, they'll feel its effects. So dealers started to mix all kinds of drugs with fentanyl, turning the entire US drug market into a minefield where any trip can be your last.
Damn.
Because way too often, they put a bit too much in their mixes.
This shit,
In
this shit just seems like
2022,
it's so
the
fucking
combination
risky.
with
Why would you even
pills,
try
often
it?
Counterfeit oxycodone and benzodiazepines accounted for about 20% of all fentanyl deaths.
It's
In
that weird shit where it's
2023,
a social
the
thing
US
where
authorities
you
seized
probably had a friend at one
115
point
million
that somehow was
pills with
into it
fentanyl.
because of some other friend that they had, they got them into it.
contained a lethal
And then you're not
dose.
cool if you don't do it.
About half of
And it's just a
fentanyl
social pressure
overdoses
thing
came
more so
where
than
you
anything,
expected the
because
least, from
everyone
stimulants
knows
like
that
cocaine and meth.
drugs are
A lot of
generally
people may
bad
have
for
taken
you
these mixes on purpose,
and
but
don't
many
really
others just
actually
wanted
serve
to
any
party
benefits
and weren't
besides the
ready
very
for an
temporary
opioid
ones.
surprise.
So, and
This
they're
is
expensive.
especially dangerous because
So,
if you've never tried opioids, you can overdose
Crazy.
very easily. Fentanyl really has no upsides outside medical use. For dealers and cartels, it means easy profit. For users, it means a worse opioid addiction and a worse life. For people who would never ever try it, it can be a death sentence they didn't see coming. No matter how alluring they are, using opioids even in safe settings is playing with fire on the best of days. Fentanyl is a garbage drug that turns this fire into a raging furnace, increasing the risk of death massively. There's really only one conclusion to draw here. If you have the choice, don't step into the supernova of pleasure, because the danger of it turning into a supernova of pain is just too high.
So guys, if you didn't get it from the video, drugs bad. Recreational drugs, that is. Shocking. I know, right? No, it's cool to see how they the actual effects are though of these things, where you have just like a vague idea of hearing it's like, oh, this one's worse than this is worse than this, but actually getting more of a scientific breakdown of how it's affecting you it's cool. I like the way they animate it, and it's easier to follow than just somebody saying something. So interesting. Cool stuff. Kurtzkazak's always fun. They always deliver, man. They've got really cool, unique content. They cycle between all sorts of different things, and they're fun to watch. So glad you guys decided to stick around and watch it with me. And thank you for doing so. And like, comment, subscribe on this video if you do enjoy this. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.